Hi, I'm Clay Carlino and I'm not an auto mechanic, but I do have an old truck and you know what that means. Yep, that means fixing stuff. The problem today is that my door handle on the inside doesn't seem to work anymore, and I'll show you why. This is the door handle. You pull it and this rod right here, this wire with this plastic clip fits right into what used to be a hole right there, and you'd pull the handle, it would go like this, and it would do that, and that would open the door. Obviously, this is broken. What I want to do is I want to cut out a little piece of metal and drill a hole through it right where this hole used to be, and then fold that piece of metal over what's remaining of this plastic flange, and I'll use epoxy to stick it in there, and then I'll also put a hole through there and put a nut and a bolt in there to give it both a mechanical joint and a chemical bond. And I'm hoping that that'll give me a nice solid repair that will work for a good number of years. So you can see here I've taken this piece of paper and wrapped it around that plastic flange, and then with a pencil I have scratched graphite around the edges. This piece of paper will now give me a perfect template to use when I cut out my piece of metal. So now you can see I've drawn in the rest of the piece and opened up the folded piece of paper. So that is my template. Here's the rough cut piece, and you can see that I've center punched where the hole will fall. Here's that piece with the rust removed, and it's folded over, and let's see how this fits. This will go right on here like this. Let's see if I can get it. Come on, yeah, there we go. Alright, that actually looks really good. Alright, I'm going to drill the holes and then epoxy that. Here's that piece with the holes drilled, and I've sanded off the little burrs that occur inside and cleaned it up with a lot of wax and grease remover because I don't want anything to interfere with the epoxy. Now let's see how it fits. Look at that. That's great. That's awesome. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy this in place, and then after it's epoxied, I'm going to drill through here so that I can add a nut and a bolt. And here we go. This is the piece with the epoxy on it. It is in place. Now we just have to wait for the epoxy to dry, and I'm going to drill a hole through here, and then I am going to screw this little nut, and I don't know whether this counts as a screw or a bolt. I mean, it's got a screw head, but it's flat. I think it's a, I don't know, screw or bolt. I mean, it seems like if it's got a nut, then that makes this a bolt, because you never hear nuts and screws, you hear nuts and bolts. But I don't know. It's a question. I think it's a screw. A nut and a screw. Crazy world we live in. Nuts go with screws. Okay, and now just drop this screw or whatever it is through the hole, which is hard to do one-handed. Okay, there we go. We've got a screw with a nut going through here. It is epoxied. So now let's see if this little clip will actually fit into that spot on the door. There's no way I'm going to do this with one hand. Alright, so that just fits together just like this, and you can see the latch is working exactly the way that it's supposed to. That piece is fixed. Alright, Here's the test. Look at that. That is a functioning door latch. Awesome. If you like this video or you like any of my other videos, please feel free to subscribe. Click the thumbs up button. Other than that, how to fix a broken door latch with some epoxy and a little piece of metal. Yay!